Welcome back to the reality, guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co host, Brian,
Hi, everybody.
joined by the host of the Strat Chat podcast and the Kyle Petty Show, Kyle Petty.
Hello, hello.
We're back to talk The Amazing Race 36, episode 6. This one was called Our Alliance Strikes Again. This was a mega leg, guys, a entire mega leg in one episode. I would be curious to know if that's ever happened before. I would think if it has, it's very rare. Um, Cordoba, Argentina, the second largest city in Argentina. I would assume the largest is probably Buenos Aires, probably. Um, this the title of the episode, and I think we're going to start off with this because we're going to give our normal recap. The idea of alliances in the Amazing Race. We had a nice little discussion pre-show, and I think it's kind of what I would like to kick off with. How do you feel about open alliances in the Amazing Race? Obviously, Team Walla Walla, Angie and Danny, Rod and Letitia, Alyssa, they all work together heavily and publicly to keeping some of them even in the race. Like I would say Team Walla Walla would have been eliminated if they did not get the help they got. So I want to start with Kyle. Like, what do you think? Are you okay with the open alliances in the Amazing Race, or does it bother you?
I'm actually totally fine with it. This doesn't bother me at all. I think it's part of it. I think having good social relationships in a game like this is important because you never know when you might need that help later. So it's always important to pay it forward. And especially when you're dealing with a situation where what if you have like U-turns and things like that again? I don't want you working against me. So it don't bother me.
All right, I'm totally against it. I just don't really. Sorry. Yeah, I don't. Okay, I don't mind you helping people out every once in a while. It's like, hey, it's a left here, but like the today really just pissed me off. Where it's like people are actively very struggling with this driving challenge, and like Amber's like, I'm not leaving until everybody else is done. I was like, okay, chick, like.
That's who I meant. I said the wrong name. I
Yeah.
meant Amber.
I was just like, that's when it got too much for me. She's like, I'm not leaving. I need to stand behind them and do it. I was just like, if she was just like, okay, here's some of the starter pieces, and she didn't stand behind them and like basically do the puzzle for them, I probably wouldn't have such a strong issue as I do right now. But like, it was just egregious helping to me. And then the fact that later in the episode, they're doing all this helping, and then like the other two teams, like Yvonne and Melissa and Sunny and Busy, are just like, hey, do you know this piece? Oh, I forget. And it's just like, fuck you. I just that I would be so mad if I was those girls. And I really I can't wait until they pass them and beat these teams. And I really like Rod and Letitia, but I gotta stand strong with my no alliances thing. So I gotta be against it right now.
I agree with you, Brian. While I am pro alliance in the Amazing Race, and I agree with Kyle's point that building social capital can lead to good gameplay, and that happened for Team Walla Walla with Angie. Obviously, Amber cared enough about her to want to literally give her the answers to the car race, and we will get to that. But I agree. Like I said, I've been pro Angie and Danny all season, which is usually interesting because Danny's a super fan, and I'm usually just like anti the super fans on these shows. They just come off like too much. But I've liked him. But Angie kind of gave them a nice wrestling heel turn there. She took the steel chair and smacked in the back. Was like you said, Brian, for someone who literally was saved, she then like refusing to allow help outside the alliance was a little like, I mean, literally within like an hour, she's already saying, no, I can see if it's like maybe a few legs later and you don't want to be sharing, but to know that you would have been gone already and it's not going to lead to you being eliminated, letting these chicks know. Because at the end of the day, we know that Derek and Shalisa are like miles behind. No one's seen them yet, right? So like there was really no reason for the jockeying there. And like I said, Kyle mentioned, like this may come back to bite you later. So
And it wasn't like they were asking for the entire board of meat. It was like, hey, is this piece this? It was
throw me a
one.
bone.
Yeah, literally, throw me a bone. Throw me some of this meat that's
Throw
been
me a
marinated.
freaking bone
This
here.
hot, sweaty meat that probably is just gross to the touch after being in that heat. But yeah, I don't know, man.
There was a meat
I didn't love it.
spin.
I didn't love it,
I
especially because you were about to quit. You were like seconds away from quitting. It's too hot outside. Then you can't even
I thought
like
it was over.
even meet.
4 hour penalty in this Amazing Race is like 5 days.
Yeah, that's right.
It's like interstellar rules.
Light years.
The guy's
long.
sitting there. How long would that be in ours? Like sitting there right 18 years.
I'm sorry, but it's also worth mentioning that, like, if Angie is going to allow everyone to help everyone, then it's not really an alliance anymore, and now we're just moving people on through. So,
This
like,
is
if
socialism.
you're going to have an alliance, it does have to have like some lines drawn, or else you're not really moving as a group now. Now it's just everyone helping everyone, and now it's a free for all. So
We're now going to have to ask the question, though, Kyle. Did she pre-line here? Did she pre-line here? Did she draw the line too early? Was the line
I don't know.
have room for the line?
A line has to be drawn at some point, and at the end of this mega leg, are we almost like really like halfway there at this point?
That's what they're saying, basically.
This is the halfway point.
You know,
if you're not drawing that line now, when are you doing it?
I think she drew it and dug it. It's there.
It's a trench.
I cannot wait.
Trench.
And I'm not even a Sixers fan, but like when Yvonne or Melissa, Allen Iverson steps over them on a challenge when they're like she's down, like I'm so
We're gonna make the gift.
sweaty, and Yvonne just
no, it's gonna be exciting.
Like, see ya.
No, it'll be exciting.
It's gonna be Ty Lue on the ground.
I'll deal with the alliances if something like that happens where I want them to catapult up and cross all these teams because
oh yeah, that's what we all want to see. I mean,
I don't think they're good. I mean, they came in there. I thought the two girl teams at the end, like that's a big moment where you can be pissed off that like you're seeing all these people help each other. Like you're like I'm better than these teams, and you're right on their ass at the end of this leg, which is good. I think it will be good for the drama of the show next week if it delivers. But
right,
we didn't get a lot of we really didn't get a lot of Expedia plugs this week, which was nice. But
on that time,
if Wendy's. Shout out Wendy's, our favorite. We would totally take a plug at Wendy's. Let us know your favorite Wendy's item.
What did you get there? What did you eat?
Baconators.
Hell yeah, big one or the baby son of the baconator?
The juniors. I like the
JBCs.
Yeah, I like doing a couple of those. It's easier with the nuggets. It's just a little bit. It's a little bit. It's less bulky.
Are you doing like a biggie bag?
Wendy's. I just order random when we get in these drive-throughs. We had the breastfeeding class tonight, so we were not cooking tonight. Saw a lot of nipples.
Is that like a 4x4 with a JBC sidecar?
There you go. That's a good one. That's a pro order right there.
Yeah. Wow, do you like Wendy's? Are you a fan of Wendy's?
I love it.
He just gave his order.
I think they're out of the big three, they're number one for me.
Oh, yeah.
Big three being like
we promise everyone we will get to the actual recap.
Wendy's. Yeah, I guess so. You know, there is something very special about Burger King, though. I would put McDonald's as number 3. Sorry.
Oh, for sure. I think we could all agree
on what you're getting. Soft drinks, McDonald's is 1 for me.
Or breakfast also.
Soft drinks.
Like sodas. They have the best sodas.
No, I know what a soft
like muffins are good.
I just cannot imagine why that would be the highlight of McDonald's.
Hot cakes
as
are
a
good.
soda person, I'm a big soda person. It's important to me.
Yeah, they have the ones where you can pick the flavors.
I don't like remix machines.
Oh, you're a purist. Like it just has to have its own. Like eat one. So you're a segregationalist.
Proper.
I am a segregist when it comes to soda for sure.
Somebody's gonna clip that and change.
I want my soda in one nozzle.
It does give me anxiety.
Separate, but not separate, but equal. Brian.
Yeah, I don't like. I don't want if you had like some weirdos getting like a vanilla grape Coke and it's gonna get like 5% of it in my Coke, a regular Coke and thing. I don't want that. I want.
I kind of go for
more Coke in my drink.
Yeah.
The route info started at the Plaza del Bicentenario. The clues were hanging off of these big circles that looked like Olympic rings. I'm assuming that was, or it was like their bicentennial, but they looked like Olympic ring type things. Whatever. Led to the first detour. This was either bicicleta or boleadora. The bicicleta was a stationary bike that had a grinder at the bottom. It would grind up plastic bottles and the scraps would fill up a trash can. And that's how you would advance. You could trade off, which I thought was nice, kind of, kind of generous in my opinion. Or
Agreed.
you could do Boleadora, which was 10 attempts each. You each had to get one. It was like playing that lawn game with the two balls and the string, except they were a little bit larger, and you had to hit a cardboard bull or metal outline of a bull once a piece. I thought, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong, I thought the bike was the obvious pick.
by far.
Yeah, I would have done the bike 100%.
The uh, the throwing thing is tough. Like frankly, again,
Yeah.
I usually am all about it's. I wrote here super high risk, high reward though, and like obviously, and it's a theme throughout this. Juan and Shane both get it within like three throws, but they dominated every single portion of this leg, so that's not surprising. But I thought more teams would have done the bikes, frankly. Anybody have any kind of input really on either of those two specifically?
I mean, even the 10 tries before it would reset, I didn't even think I didn't think it was that hard anyways. Like it's not like you're moving on the horse or the fake horse. I think you could have picked it up. I mean, I don't know. I would have done the bike though. I mean, I'm a big recycle person, so
And was there a rule that it had to be the bull's legs?
No,
no, I think you just had to make contact. So that again, like that
you had to wrap or be
Yeah.
wrapped around it in
Seems
some
to me
way.
like you also could. There was a lot of like wingspan on this.
Yeah, a lot of real
wall
estate
and
to hit.
strings. Like, you definitely could have done the neck.
Yeah,
Like,
oh
right?
yeah.
I feel like you totally could have made it. And I feel like people's downfall here was going for the legs because it was right on the bottom of whatever that little scenery lip was that people were getting all tripped on. And it's like, well, if you tried for something a little bit larger, it's a bigger target. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. Hit the body, man. That's a
Yeah.
fat cow.
Aim small, miss small.
Yeah.
You know, anybody? The
Does that switch you
Patriot,
from
If you have
something?
something that went over my head,
the
man,
Patriot, Mel Gibson, the Patriot. You guys
No.
seen that movie before?
No.
years ago.
It's that's a badass movie, Kyle. Regardless of people, if you don't like Mel Gibson or whatever, that's like an old movie from the 90s where it's like American Revolution, and Mel Gibson is just becomes it's kind of like John Wick. It's actually almost it's like John Wick in the American Revolution, kind of.
Doesn't he kill somebody with like a hatchet?
Oh, that's his main thing is a hatchet. He like hatchets the shit out of people. He kill like yeah. Watch the Patriot. I'm curious to see what Logan's thoughts are on the Patriot. It'll probably be during my kid's Sweet 16 party, but we'll get it. But okay, so we're moving on to the route info. It was the Circuito Lobo race. This was the roadblock. Who has a good sense of direction? This was where you had to ride in the rally car, memorize the sequence of turns on the 1.5 mile course. Then you had to go back and you had 3 minutes. It was almost like you were doing like a pit change, and you had to build the map, and it had to be exactly the right map. If you were wrong, you had to get back in the car and go do the whole course again. This is where like we kind of saw the beginning of the alliances rearing their pretty or ugly heads, depending on which block you are in this celebrity tic-tac-toe. I also, guys, I thought this was where we got a good Mario Party reference here. I thought this was reminded me of Stock Car Racer, an oldie but a goodie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Juan knocked it out on the first attempt. Super wild because again, this is just like the trend of this whole leg. Angie wanted to quit. She told Danny after the run that she could not physically continue. She wanted to take the 4-hour penalty, which we've seen in these short legs on this edition. That means you're done. Like they would lose. In other legs where you're flying and blah, 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 like you got a shot, right? He says no shot. She's gonna like go and give up again, and this is where our girl steps in. Let me make sure I don't say the wrong. Amber steps in and literally just does her puzzle and does Letitia's for them. I would like to know if there's ever been, like Brian said, a more blatant use of an alliance in Amazing Race history.
So the big man upstairs answer.
It's true. We will get that answer.
Yes, we will.
I'm
Kyle.
looking forward to Francesca, to her comments about it, because I know that she's going to be very against it. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, shout out Francesca. Um,
Yeah, I mean, listen, again, it was blatant, and I was a little surprised to see it, but I'm also not the most seasoned Amazing Race viewer, so like I don't know if something like this has happened before, quite like this. But I did find it to be a little bit shocking, but I do still say like maybe that's part of it. As you are managing your relationships properly, maybe people would want to, help you out too. Question mark, question
question mark, question mark.
Yeah.
The route info following was the Estadio Francisco Cabases, which led to the roadblock of who wants to score. This was bubble soccer. You just had to score a goal. Thought it was really funny. You went from Shane getting a quick 30-second goal to Caesar basically being Marshawn Lynch and just trucking everyone out of the way. He basically was playing like Super Mario Strikers, like knocking out everybody and then just leaving. You can knock the goalie out even and just go and score. What did you guys think of this one?
I laughed when Rob was like, "Oh, it's this kind of game," and he just started barreling through people, and then like, I think that looked fun to me. I don't know what it really had to do with where we were, but I mean, it looked fun.
Well, apparently they said in it that like it's an actual sport there, that it started as a joke and it became something a little bit more real. I thought that was a little interesting.
I play bubble soccer.
I didn't think this was something that happened outside of the challenge. I thought it was just like a silly goose kind of a thing.
It is silly goose.
I didn't actually think this is like a real. We were just out here, just being silly and drunk. So I thought that was cool. There's like some culture behind it. Yeah.
Very nice. Route info following this was to go to the Mirador del Conferral for the 2 detours, one of which we didn't get to even see, which I was a little disappointed. I thought was going to be cool. That one was who did it. This was to find fingerprints using a little brush, match the fingerprint to an ID of like who the suspect was, and then you get the clue. I thought that one seemed like it was pretty straightforward as well, but nobody chose to do it. Instead, like we've already alluded to, everyone wanted to go for what's your beef. You had to correctly identify the 14 cuts of beef. They were all in Spanish. Um, you had to go from the butcher shop and run over to the stations that were in a separate spot down the alleyway. What is really important is that there was only 3 stations and only 3 could be occupied at one time. This is where Danny did make the heads up play probably of the week, just as far as strategy, and said, yo, we need to just turn around and get back. It doesn't matter. We can just guess a million times and eventually we'll get it right. Probably something that I wonder if the producers thought of, if they cared, but maybe we should have said that, like, if you got it wrong, you had
Go
to
back.
leave the area, and they didn't have that as a rule.
I wonder if that's one of the things maybe that we're starting to see, that why they held us back and made some changes or something like that, because we're still waiting on something, right? That was
Logan
it.
said it was a plane issue. They were supposed to go to like
Issue?
other countries, like across. I think
Well,
they said like
man.
Africa or something, and then I think the charter plane bailed on them or did something happen, and they were stuck.
All right, well, never mind then.
So maybe it was like filming got delayed for a while. Remember like COVID season, how they had to like restart the race. Maybe this, I'm getting a feeling that that might happen with this season. Maybe they had to like restart the race somewhere else,
Maybe.
which would be interesting. Um, let's see. We then found out you were going to go to the pit stop. This was the Plaza de San Martin. Pretty straightforward. It was pretty close there. We'll get to the order. But what's interesting about the order is that we talked about Team Walla Walla not wanting Melissa and Vaughn, Sunny and Busy, didn't want to help them. The other 2 teams kind of understood, hey, like none of us are in last. It doesn't really matter. So we're going to see if that was a preemptive move. But Brian, as we do every week, you give the order of finish.
First place, Juan and Shane. Second place, Ricky and Caesar. Third place, Rod and Letitia. Fourth place, Amber and Vinny. Fifth place, Angie and Danny. Sixth place, Yvonne and Melissa. Seventh place, Sunny and Busy. And eighth place, eliminated Derek and Shalisa. RIP.
That rankings list was brought to you by Wendy's. Make sure you get your 4 for 4s. Yeah, it's a shame, Bri. I kind of want to let you lead with this. I know you were huge on the grandparents. They were your sentimental favorites.
Yeah, I really like them. I wish they didn't switch the challenge. I think they would have been okay.
I agree.
I
I
agree
think
with
you
that
just give it a
too.
few more cracks. Just wing them, man. Just keep like it's like a machine gun with that thing. Just keep whipping it and going. I don't know. I thought it could be done, but I guess who knows? Again, what's the shot clock? How long they've been there? How long have they been actually be doing it? What's the throw count? Like, give us these numbers. Like, make us understand why they're giving up at this point.
Yeah, because it also looked like I don't know if I just looked down for a moment or something, but it also looked like they didn't even finish that last like 10 rotation. Like, didn't they stop throwing at like
Yeah,
seven or
they still
eight?
had 3 throws. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
it's
like
like at
7 or 8. Yeah,
least get to your
I
10
agree.
and then
Completely
stop.
agree.
Like, yeah, it felt a little strange. Like, we're
Hmm.
definitely giving up
Hmm.
too soon.
Yeah,
Um,
I just like them. I thought they were cool people. I liked their energy, and I just kind of
mhm,
feel like it just stinks. I like them.
yeah.
Shout out though to them. Really cool to see them. Like I like the idea of like that's how they're starting their retirement.
Mhm.
Uh, Also to see them active together at that age, healthy too, considering the jobs they did and stuff to kind of
Right.
make his age. Her also surviving like her illnesses and stuff. Really cool to see. Guys, again, a mega leg in one episode. I liked the pace though. I liked the amount of
Yes.
content we had. It felt like a literal marathon run, in that if you made a quick mistake, you could lose. Again, what's unfortunate about this leg is we had a team that just stayed so far behind. It took a little bit of the drama out of who's going to finish last. If
Mhm.
just say Rod and Letitia had been already eliminated, and it had been how it was at the end with them all running to that mat and navigating, that would have been nuts. That then would have made the move that Team Walla Walla made, like an actual like villain strategic move. Like, no, sorry guys, like we all can't go. There's 4 of us standing here, and one of us is going to get eliminated. We can't do it. Like that would have been wild. That would have been awesome.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I hear that.
Shout out to Juan and Shane for also winning 5 grand apiece.
Salute.
Yeah, good for them.
It's like 20,000 4 for 4s.
They also should have gotten a trip, though. I mean, you
Was
just
it
won a mega
2,000?
leg and you got
Yeah.
5,000. I mean, 5,000 is cool. I'm not knocking it, but like, where was Expedia today? With my trip to someplace.
Right.
um, Kyle, you're going to be on our Survivor review that probably released right before this one. But what else do you guys have going on Strat Chat?
We have Challenge All Stars Thursdays at 8, which has actually been a hoot and a half, so get on board. Challenge is back and it's fun.
We
Um,
reviewed it.
yeah. Challenge is good now. It's much already better than 39, and we're only 2 episodes in. So, like, yeah. And then what? Big Brother Canada at 9:30 on Thursdays. There's another one that's at you
Episode
guys.
3 dropped today of the challenge as well.
Yes, it
So we're
did.
recording this on Wednesday. So it is now available. I'm sure Brett watched it already. I did not have any time to watch it.
No,
Um,
that's what's about.
Check out the Strat Chat. Check us out here and on TikTok. We're covering everything and anything reality TV. But for myself, Brian, Kyle, everyone here at the team, thank you so much for watching. Peace.